Hey guys, just getting ready to go hit the trail with Gage this morning. Gonna give him a good run on the 90-acre trail and set up some trail cameras. It's been bitingly cold the last few weeks, minus 25 degrees Celsius, so I brought all the trail cameras back in. Today it's actually minus 1 degree Celsius, so perfect to get them back out on the trails. I'm hoping to catch some lynx. Haven't done it in 4 years on these trails, so let's get out there, put them out, and see what we can find. Well, lynx and Bigfoot, of course, right? Goes without saying. Put gas in the snow machine yesterday, and I want to show you guys, this tank is not venting properly. Listen to this. Of course it won't do it now. It goes through periods where it builds up pressure in this tank. No, this is not a sledding video, but I did want to mention, I put gas in here yesterday and drove it for 3 hours. As I just showed you, there's no pressure in the tank, but it is building up pressure. And that's when I seem to have these problems. I think it's not venting and it builds up enough pressure that the tank becomes airlocked and then the machine won't start. I think it's that simple. And I mentioned this to the guys in the shop when I brought it in. I said, it doesn't seem to be venting. Sometimes I hear when I stop a little bit of a whine, as the tank is venting. Other times I don't. And after about 3 or 4 days, if I crack that tank, you get a loud tons of pressure in there, and there shouldn't be. And I think the pressure's building up so high that it stops the machine from starting. It becomes airlocked. And since I've started cracking that tank every couple of days, I haven't had any issues with the machine. It's been running fine. No more error codes, and it's been starting like it should. So I still haven't heard back from Articat either, which is really, really annoying. It's been over a month. They contacted me 3 times to get more information, and then they haven't done anything with it, which I'm kind of okay with because it's the middle of the season and I'm using the machine. I don't want to bring it to the shop anyway. But hey, the time is coming where I'm going to have to call them and say, what the hell's going on? So I see lots of fox action right here on this stretch of trail, rabbits, a few deer, whatnot. It's right on the edge of the open marsh. So a lot of evergreens right here, lots of cover, and it would be a good spot to catch lynx. They're going to be in here feeding on rabbits. So we're going to try to set up a trail camera here and maybe another one 50 yards just down here, kind of pointing to each other. It's also the main cross section of trails that go around the swamp here. So everything should be using these trails. I don't know what we'll find, but we'll give it a go. I don't know if you guys can hear all the birds around, but it definitely feels like spring today. February 23rd, hovering around 0 degrees, maybe just below. All kinds of birds in the forest today. You can feel heat from the sun. Spring is definitely on its way back. So I just wanted to give you guys an update about the swamp videos. When I come back here now, I'm pretty much looking for weird light and orb anomalies, which we've captured once, and I've seen a couple of times. Do not fear, we are still going to be hitting some remote areas for Bigfoot, but it's winter here, and there's 3 feet of snow in the bush, so it's really hard to go anywhere that there isn't a packed trail system. Even if you were to break off and go across the lake, like if I was to try to get up to Brian's camp, this machine here would do it because it's got a 154-inch track, 10-inch wide skis, but it's very difficult and a lot of work. And as soon as you get across that lake, there's no way you'd be breaking trail up through the mountain in the middle of winter. It would take days. It's back-breaking labor, and you just wouldn't be in there surprising anything, that's for sure. So that's why I can't really do much out in the distance, out in the far reaches where I want to go in winter. It's just too hard to get there. The only places that are accessible here are by groomed skidoo trail, really. And there are hundreds of people using those trails a week, so you're not in any remote area. So that's why we've been concentrating on the swamp here. It's my own private little trail, just me and the neighbor use it. And I haven't seen him out here all winter, so as things start to melt and warm up, we will be going out farther. We will be bringing the parabolic dish. I'd like to do some camping out. My neighbor actually said, hey, we should come back here in the swamp and camp out and just have a campfire and, you know, look for lights and things and spend a night. So we may do that as well. Lots of things we can do. I just have to have time. This week I'm off. It's reading break up at the college, so I'm only working one job. So I'm going to hopefully make a few videos this week, get out on some adventures. And again, my wife has other ideas, probably lots of chores and household things to catch up on that I haven't been doing, but hey. So one of the questions that has arisen from my outings here in the swamp are definitely not a believer in strange phenomenon, multi-dimensional, whatever. I've said that a dozen times on the channel, but since we've been out here looking for things, we seem to find things. And so the question that I'm asking myself is, are these things always out here and happening? You know, the light flashes, the orbs, the whistling sounds. Are these things always here and we're just finding it now because we're looking for it? Or are we finding it because we're looking for it? You know, this is... There's the tank. Can you hear that? Whistling away like it should be. Are we finding things because we're looking for them? Or are they always there? I don't know. And I am pretty open to this stuff, like I say. Just because I don't believe it doesn't mean that it's not true. Lots of things in science had to be proven right before they were accepted. But if you were a closed-minded person who said that could never be, then we wouldn't further science, right? So I'm open-minded to all this stuff. I'm keeping an open mind in my research. What are we going to find? I have no idea. I think that just getting out here and looking has opened up my mind to possibilities. And really, there is a little bit of belief. The wheels are turning here going, there is more to what goes on than we know. And I think David Paulides and a bunch of these other guys that do these Missing 411 and Lost in the Bush series, there's a few, there's another series, I forget the author, it's a woman. There are strange things out here that happen. People go missing all the time, so under very strange circumstances. So what, you know, the natives had 100 different theories and gods and spirits and legends that described all of these things that, you know, as modern civilization, we would just say, we would dismiss it. That doesn't happen. But now when we look at the culture of Missing 411, we see a lot of this stuff does happen. They talk about transparent entities in the forest. This has come up over and over and over. We talk about just having a bad vibe, a bad feeling. Strange sounds, voices, music in the forest, which I have heard distant drumming on a native reserve, and it was not coming from the direction of the reserve. Who's to say? Maybe there was a small group out there. It was strange. It came in on the wind, disappeared on the wind. It got louder, just me standing there, which is the strange part. So if it was somebody over the hill making music, you would think that would remain a constant distance away from you. This kind of washed over me and then receded away. And it was like tribal drumming and chanting. It was very strange. So I am open to strangeness in the forest. I believe there is strange things, entities, orbs. I know I've seen the orbs with my own eyes. So maybe I'm going to expand the channel. It's not going to be just the Bigfoot series, or the Bigfoot series will be part of what did we capture. It's open-minded, you know. I'm interested in this phenomenon of what, and if I'm going to kind of look at the paranormal side of things, which I guess we have to because there are strange things going on, I want to go up to my camp. It is a place I've never really thought about in terms of paranormal. I've showed you guys the 1959, I believe it was built in, scary little falling down camp that we've had for 30 years, needs to be replaced. When I think about it over the years, no one has ever had a good night's sleep at that camp. I just don't. If I go there, I might get 2 hours of sleep in a night. I'm always tossing, turning up. Noises, you know, I mean, just normal stuff you would think. But there was one incident, there were two incidents actually. As soon as I said that, I remembered there were two incidents up there that were really strange. We went up to build a 12 by 12 bunkie, and I was sleeping in my tent because the camp is kind of moldy, and I have bad allergies. Sleeping in the tent, I woke up in the middle of the night, just night sweats, pure terror. I was fighting something off, and in my dreams, somebody was pinning me down and covering my mouth. I couldn't breathe. And this is weird to say, but in my dream, I envisioned a white light, and I blasted this entity away with the white light in my dream. I don't know what I was doing, but I woke up. And the next morning, I told my brother as we were having coffee, I said, geez, I had the strangest dream last night. And he said, hey, he said, I'm going to tell you right now. He said, 2 nights ago, before you got here, he said, I dreamt of, and he told me the exact same story, being pinned down, not being able to breathe. And he said, I used the light to, I said, that's exactly, in my dream, that's exactly what I did. And it was very strange. It's not something that we've ever talked about. We're not really religious. I don't use the light for anything, but you hear people talking about the light. Is this just something innate inside of us we know to do? But that camp has a strange, eerie vibe about it. The second incident was my brother's dog came up there with us. We always bring the dogs. And the one time, the dog was in the kitchen under the table, and he turned around and started barking and growling, and all the hair, like he freaked right out, and he was looking into the back corner, real dark room, which we don't use. There's some bunks back there, and the dog was just freaked right out. We didn't see or hear anything, and the dog refused to go anywhere near that doorway. We made fun of him, but we kind of chuckled and laughed about it in a uneasy way because it was very strange and spooky. So that is one other place that I'd like to go check out, and who knows? My brother said maybe we should start doing some EVP stuff. He's got a recorder, I've got a recorder. I don't really want to get into that, I don't think, but I'm curious. So maybe I do want to get into that. I don't know. I tell myself I don't want to know that, but really I think I do want to know what is the strangeness that goes on in the bush at these old locations. And that is definitely a camp that went many years where it was abandoned before my dad bought it. So it could probably tell a lot of stories. I'd like to do some more urban exploration on the channel. We do tons of metal detecting stuff where we go find 100, 200, 300-year-old sites. So if you guys are into that, watch the metal detecting videos. But I'd like to do more of that, maybe just in exploration type of videos and things. So let me know what you guys think about that as well. Bigfoot is one of those things that I would like to resolve, but I don't know that we ever will. I can only do what I'm already doing, which is put out trail cameras, keep getting out and doing investigations, doing night investigations, doing sound recordings, getting out to these remote locations, and just being out in the field. That's all I can do, but I don't know that I can ever truly resolve that question. Will I ever catch something on camera? I don't know. The last thing I might start investigating, or just doing a few more setups with cameras and night vision and still cameras, is night sky photography and UFO watching. Looking for strange lights in the sky itself. We all have seen strange things that we can't explain, and worst case scenario, I would probably just get some beautiful photography out of it, even if we don't capture anything. So I'd like to start doing that as well. I'm going to get a group of guys together and just get out and do some camping and do some night investigations and stuff, so cover a lot more ground. I can't do it all by myself. I don't want to do it by myself, and it's dangerous. Anything can happen to somebody alone in the woods up here, and I just need to find somebody who I can get out and do these investigations with. Somebody who has the same mindset as me. That's the problem, right? I don't want to have somebody who every snap in the woods they're screaming in terror, because that's no good either. I need somebody who wants to answer questions. And I've got a few friends in mind. It's just they got to have time and the will to get out and do it. So stay tuned for all of that. That's my plan. Whether I can bring this to fruition or not, it may just be Gage and I, because most people think I'm nuts. At this point, they're like, why do you bother? I bother because I'm interested. I find it fun. Gives me something to do. I enjoy sharing my adventures with you guys. Hey, that's what it's all about.